Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast. It's episode 236 of the Hop Nation USA Podcast. And we're just chilling out, hanging out, doing beers, talking other things.
Basking in the glory of our undefeated Wordle scores.
Hell yeah. Do you actually play?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that could go one way or the other with you.
So I agree that would go one way or another, but I like the fact that it is, well, at the beginning it was very simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
There was no ads, there was no app, no nothing. Get in, do your business, get back out.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I figured that would appeal to you, but also it being trendy would appeal against you. So
no, it's not that I hate trendy things. It's that trendy things are usually bad.
Yeah, usually, but also just I can see you like not even investigating it because it's trendy.
Well, they had a perfect level of marketing without really marketing by all the little squares on social media.
Yeah,
I had to go find out what it was.
Okay,
I was like, oh, it's a neat little word game. I'll try it out.
Right.
And then it's like, all right, this is actually kind of neat. I like this.
Okay, well, good to hear. Good to hear that you're still rocking a perfect streak and that you're enjoying yourself.
I think I'm somewhere around 30, 35 games in a row or something like that.
Sure.
So
Cool.
I'm not bragging. I'm just saying.
No. So, yeah, you're definitely like a late adopter then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's up to like 230 some weeks or something like Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. I kept seeing all these squares show up on Twitter. And after about the second week of it, it's like, all right, what is this actually?
Yeah.
And then I dove into it.
Yeah.
And now I enjoy it. It's part of my lunchtime routine.
There you go. So, yeah, we got perfect Wordle scores, and you'll never find out when we lose because we won't tell you about it.
No, we won't.
But, yeah, we're also doing other things, and we're doing a specific, very niche, specific type of beer this week.
Yes, and funny enough, we didn't set out to make this episode.
Not so much, no.
They just kind of fell into our lap, and we're like, yeah, we need to do this.
Yeah, it just so happened that a whole bunch of variations of this style came out immediately in, like, during the season.
Yeah.
This isn't even season 4, but we're doing French toast beers.
Yes, we are.
It's not, well, you know what? It actually kind of is French toast season. We'll talk about it later in the episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued.
Yes. We'll talk about it later. But we'll get into the history of French toast for segment 2.
Oh,
Yes.
fancy.
Fancy. But yeah, we're doing French toast beers, and Adam is going to introduce our first one.
Yes, I am. And we are coming at you with a big one. This is Let's Get Some Effing Fraanch Toast. It's bleeped out, so I can't say it. I have to read it as it says on the can. It's got the stars.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an imperial stout with French toast, maple syrup, cinnamon, lactose, and vanilla. It's a big one.
Cool.
It comes from Bhramari Brewing Company. This is 12.6% ABV. Comes out of Asheville, North Carolina. Shout out to friend of the show, Greg. Set me up with this.
Yeah.
It's a good dude.
Yeah.
It's good people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that you're allowed to ship gasoline in the,
Well, not in Canada.
Right. In FedEx, but all right.
No, this was quote unquote hand delivered.
Yeah.
No further questions, Your Honor.
He gave it to me. He drove 7 hours.
But yes, this is our first stop in our French toast soiree. Is that the word that we're looking for here?
I don't know what word you're like. Soiree is a bit fancy.
I mean, it is a fancy looking French toast beer. Let's be honest.
It doesn't look fancy. It looks loud.
It does.
It doesn't look fancy. It looks loud.
It's not uptown fancy. It's downtown fancy.
Yeah, fancy is the label that I don't know if you saw it. That there's that collaboration coming out between The Answer and Coven Brewing.
No, I didn't see that.
It was like on Instagram.
Of course, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Right. It was places. It was places that you don't frequent, but
Right.
it was places. But it was like a ultra modern, super minimalistic.
Okay.
It's like a duck in a box or something, but
Okay then.
yeah, but it's super, ultra modern. That's not what this label is. This label looks like fucking Mardi Gras.
Yeah, this is bright orange Lamborghini fancy.
Yeah.
Rather than British racing green Bentley fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no Rolls Royce up in this piece.
No.
But let's get into it.
Okay.
All right, we have the Fraanch toast.
It's Fraanch toast.
Fraanch toast.
You're right, Fraanch.
Fraanch. Saying that all episode.
Need some damn reading lessons for you.
I took a nap right before this. I'm still waking up. Still waking up.
So you should be more refreshed. And
You think
clear-headed.
so? You think so?
Fraanch toast. Yeah, thanks for the syrup, Greg.
Thick. With like 3 C's.
Yeah, I haven't even tasted it or anything. Just it poured out thick.
Mm-hmm.
It had little to no head retention on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It smells like gross in a way.
How do you figure? Because it's just so much going on?
Very sweet.
It is. Yeah.
Just-
You can find the maple very easily.
Yeah, I can smell the maple. I can smell the cinnamon. I surprisingly don't smell a lot of booze.
I'm okay with that. Especially with it coming in at 12 and a half plus or minus a 10.
Right.
Taking a sip, thick.
Incredibly thick. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah, this is a shareable beer, no doubt about it.
That is. Hey.
It's good though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I don't want to try to dissuade people,
But it's a lot.
but be warned.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get a lot of the cinnamon,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not getting so much of the maple on the taste.
It's definitely more on the nose. I will say on the aftertaste there is a little bit there. And I like the way that the aftertaste kind of replicates a French toast. Residual, I think would be a name.
It is yeah, I mean it's residually breakfast. It is
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like those breakfast flavors that you would expect of what you would expect from French toast being creamy and syrupy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the syrupiness isn't necessarily maple syrup, but it's syrupy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like whenever you're done with your French toast and you had your syrup and your butter,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff that you got to sop up the last couple of bites.
Right.
That.
Yeah. You don't want to say butter because that's not that's an off flavor and that's not what's present.
Correct.
At least not what I'm getting. Maybe somebody with a better palate would. But I'm not getting like the butter popcorn type of off flavor on it.
I agree. It's not the off flavor, but that kind of combination where everything is come mixed together at the very end of the meal.
Just that very rich,
Yes.
syrup at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is very rich. It's flavorful, and I'm getting some of the hotness of the alcohol, just a little tiny bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like offensive or
No.
undrinkable.
And considering how much it clocks in at,
Yeah,
pretty darn impressive.
yeah. So it is, impressive for being gross. It's the only way I can.
But like a good gross.
Yeah. It's like you hit everything.
Mm-hmm.
You got everything that you wanted out of it for the most part. Could use a little bit more maple syrup on the flavor, but other than that, everything else shows up.
But good golly, Miss Molly, if you gave me a 4-pack of that, it would take a day.
Yeah.
It would take a day to get through it.
Or like a month.
Yeah.
Like you have one at the end of every week.
Right. That's your Friday night.
This is, if you're, on a health kick, this is your cheat meal.
Yeah. That's your cheat day.
Yeah. This is,
That beer is your cheat day.
yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
all around. But hey, Bhramari, they did it.
They did. Yes, they did.
It's not, yeah. I mean, as far as like crazy garbage goes,
Top of the heap.
Yeah, top of the eve. You made the best sundae, but like that sundae is full of gummy bears. Everybody's super impressed with what you did, but it will kill people.
And they never want to touch it again.
Yeah, but it will kill people. So, yeah, good on them.
Good on them. Share this beer with friends.
Yeah, this is definitely, and you know what? If you take this to a beer share, I think people will be happy with you too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because it's a good beer and they won't have to drink the whole thing.
Right.
That's a lot.
But I mean, if you're at a beer share, you're already taking samples of fucking all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
So
don't drink this at the beginning.
No, maybe. Depends on what kind of beer share you're at.
Okay.
Adam.
Oh, well, all right. Are you there for the beer or for the share?
Yeah. If you're at a beer share, then like again, people are going to be breaking out all kinds of 10 and 12 and 15% fucking goof ass garbage. Mm-hmm. So get this whenever you want.
Well, that's true, because I think this would break through all the noise no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just afterwards that you have to worry about.
Don't take this to a fucking camera meeting where everything is cask real ale that's like under 5%, because that doesn't count.
Just come in swinging a sledgehammer.
Yeah. The people, you will get booted from the group because they'll be like, hey, that's not real ale and it's too much. You're acting up.
Get in line.
But, I mean, if you go to like a gratitude day share, this can be like a side player.
Oh, yeah.
To all the East End variants. If somebody's holding like an East End vertical.
Yeah.
This could be a side player to that.
That's a day right there. That's an Uber day.
Yeah, for sure. Or you just sleep wherever you're at. Make sure you're good friends with the host.
Yeah, under a picnic table.
Yeah. Have a designated driver.
We're adults now. We can make those decisions on our own.
Yeah. Have children who are old enough to drive you home.
Yeah. It's sticking in my mouth a little bit too.
Yes. It's syrup.
It is. It really is. And it is mapling syrup season as well.
Mm-hmm.
Trees are getting tapped as we speak.
Yeah. This is when the trees get extra sappy.
Yeah, this is the time of year the maple syrup subreddit starts popping off for about a month and a half.
Oh, God.
And then it goes dormant.
I'm not surprised that you know that.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of neat.
I mean, it's a thing that you're into, and I know your dad makes maple syrup, so
yeah, it's fun. It's good.
I'm not terribly surprised that you know that, but I don't know.
Good, clean, all-American fun.
Maybe don't know that.
Just unlearn it.
Yeah, just unlearn that.
All right.
Unlearn what subreddits are up to.
And the ebb and flow of their activity.
Yeah. They're active. Like, that's only good to know if you're going to market your fucking maple syrup, Adam. What are you doing?
Don't post in August. Nobody goes there in August.
User engagement is like, that's the only good thing.
You got to get in there in like November, December, early January when people are starting to get their prep work done, trying to get all their equipment ready. Oh, I think I need to get new taps or a new this or a new that. That's when you market.
Okay. Well, I mean, it depends on what you're marketing. If you're marketing equipment, then yeah, obviously that's when you go for it. But I think if you're marketing product, then you got to get it in maybe August.
Right.
Because even though you say it's dead, you got to get it in August because then you got to get it in people's ears so they're buying it for the fall and for holidays.
There's been a lot of talk about bourbon barrel aging, the maple syrup.
Yeah.
I might get in on that.
Okay. Have they figured out what barrel is best or?
Well, bourbon.
Yeah.
I was going to go grab me a McLaughlin barrel.
Has anybody got into tequila?
Nobody. No. Ew, no.
I don't know. I'm asking.
No.
You know more than I do. I'm asking questions.
And I am telling you no.
What about like a wine barrel? Like a deep red wine?
I don't know that would work quite as well.
Okay.
And the people that would be willing to experiment with something like that got big operations.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody I know got big operations like that.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, it's obviously a very it's smaller than the brewing community. So
it is.
You have to be willing to expend a lot of money to try goof ass shit out. And,
right.
Who's willing to buy an entire barrel that was like a Cabernet maybe or Merlot barrel.
That's the thing. I don't know what kind of wine would go well with the maple syrup.
I would want to start with like a sweet red.
That would make sense.
Right.
Because I don't know how a dry white would interact. That just sort of seems pointless.
Yeah.
But I don't know what kind of sweet red to go with. I don't know my wines.
Yeah, I don't know my wines well enough. I just know start with sweet red.
Yeah. Give me that hummingbird feed.
Right.
And I'll be good.
It seems to make more sense than a Riesling or Chardonnay. But, well, that was maple syrup talk.
There you go.
Hope you enjoyed it.
I know I did.
Moving on to beer news, notes, and neat.
Yes.
We got some things.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are happening.
Somewhere.
Do you want to go first?
Heineken sucks.
Yeah.
That's not news.
No.
How they suck is news.
Yeah.
They're.
I thought that was interesting, but yeah.
You thought it was interesting?
Yeah.
Really?
We'll talk about it, but yeah, obviously.
Okay.
But go ahead and report the news.
So they are going to increase the price of their beer.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily the news. The news is how they described it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a courageous price hike.
Bunch of fucking dildos.
Yeah.
There's so many obnoxious stories I've seen about inflation and the new bend that I'm seeing, because this is like the second story I've seen this way, is the obnoxious way in which people are describing their inflation. The first one I saw was Netflix saying that it's not a price increase, it's a price update. Yeah. Suck my dick, because there has not been a wage update.
No.
Longer than I've been alive. So
Yeah, this math don't check no more.
yeah. Eat butt. Netflix don't put it that way.
Yeah. What is especially frustrating is when you look at these price updates or these courageous price hikes, and then you look at profit margins and profits made in the last year.
Yeah.
Ha.
Yeah.
Ha. Welcome to the end of the line, consumer.
Burp, burp.
You get to pay more for the same thing.
Yeah.
They cite the increase in price of materials such as aluminum, which has gone up.
Mm-hmm.
That is true, and the price of grain as well.
Right.
So, okay, those are legitimate points.
Right.
However,
when has a corporation ever exercised its own austerity and not passed it on to us?
right.
And I don't want to get so much into it, because like that's always the big criticism from the super lefty side of the world.
Yeah, we don't want to turn this into a political show. We're already starting to go down that route a little bit. We don't need
a little
to do
bit,
that.
yeah. But it's like that's always the big criticism of capitalism, is that it always necessitates more profit.
Yes.
And maybe that's true, maybe that's not. You know, you can argue that it's probably true, and I don't have evidence one way or the other. The only evidence I have in front of me at the moment is Heineken absolutely is trying to maintain their profitability because they've experienced profitability for the past couple years.
Yeah.
But rather than just saying we're going to eat a little bit of this and stay unprofitable, maybe for a year, or maybe just break even.
Yeah. We're going to pass it on to you.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you about it.
Right. And we're gonna call it courageous.
We're going to try to make ourselves look good
Yeah.
for you,
Right.
even though you are the one that's getting screwed.
Yeah. And so, like, you mentioned how they're the things that are affecting this. And yeah, those things are happening.
Yes.
But they have a price point in which they want to operate at. They want to operate at a 17% margin. And they see and this isn't complete. The numbers aren't related completely. So, but they're saying like they're looking at a high to mid-teen increase of cost of goods to produce,
Right.
which is what will be passed down to the consumer. And I feel like they've called it out because they've called it out as an input, which may or may not actually include transportation and distribution. So I would actually expect maybe a 20% increase on what you're going to be buying.
Right. Right. Because once it gets out the door, it's still got to get to your door.
Right.
And everybody's going to take their little chunk. You know, the distributor's going to take theirs. You know, the grocery stores are going to take theirs. And then it gets to you.
Yeah. So I think they're saying, oh, yeah, we might get like 15% increase on malt and aluminum. But then, there's still all these other things that happen afterwards.
Right.
And so, like, I'm thinking, I'm betting, I think on average it's like $18 for a 12-pack of Heineken bottles. So probably expect to pay 21, 22.
And what that's something that I find interesting because you said that they want to play in a certain field when it comes to profit margin.
Right.
They also want to play in a certain field when it comes to the grocery store.
Yeah.
No matter what you think of Heineken, Heineken is not going to play in the same arena as this Fraanch toast beer.
No.
You can't.
So yeah, that's another interesting thing. And before we even get into like the craft side of that, Heineken doesn't play in the same field as Bud Light.
No, they don't. They're in their own little weird segment.
They're in their import segment. They are, I would say, they compete more with Killian,
Newcastle,
Guinness.
Yeah.
They're all the of that early beer mindset,
Right?
Of like, oh, this is an import beer, Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
All right, I was waiting for you to bust that out.
Yeah, but so they're of that mindset. So they don't play in that field. They don't play in the craft field. Now, craft is going to be different.
Right.
There may be some increases. I would expect it. I think what stands out to me is with Heineken coming out and saying that they're going to raise prices in this courageous way, is what they're really doing is they're being the herald for everybody else.
Yeah.
They're making it okay now for everybody else to raise price.
Right. There. Yeah. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. Whether that entity needs to or not.
Because they need to be competitive and, look at the profit margins and the profits that Heineken are making. Why aren't we doing the same thing?
Right. Why aren't we making those profits? Why aren't we making more profits? Because we can raise our prices, but we can still come in below.
Right.
So like I was saying, if Heineken goes from 18 to 22, then, these other entities can come in at 21.
Right.
Or come in at 20.
Why can't England go from 16 to 19?
Right. And then they can still make more money, but they didn't necessarily get affected
Right.
the same way.
Right.
Because they maybe don't have to pay like an import tax or, there's something along the line that they don't pay that everybody else does.
Yeah. And it's simply trying to whitewash a problem that they are creating and saying that, well, we're doing it because, it's the right thing to do.
Right. Well,
it's not.
It's not. And that just rolls back to like on a more global scale for every market. There have been plenty of companies that keep rising prices over inflation, but like they aren't actually experiencing anything. It's just because some people said, oh, we have to inflate prices.
Right.
Some people have to. Not everybody has to, but everybody's going to jump in on it because they see the opportunity to make more money.
Right. And I look at it the same way as like the new car market. I can't remember the last time I went and looked at a new car that didn't have a price adjustment on top of the MSRP. Because I go looking at cars once in a while.
Yeah.
It's a good Sunday afternoon after I'm done doing my grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I'll stop at a Ford dealership or a Jeep dealership. Nope. We're going to tack a $5,000, charge over top of the sticker price. Why? Because.
Right.
Thanks. Thanks for the money.
Yeah. Except for the fact that, that car is already there. That, know.
Yeah. I read an article earlier this week that in the month of January, I believe it was 73% of all new car buyers paid over MSRP.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
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 And that's going to create the new normal.
Yeah. That creates the new normal. And the other thing is the used car market also went up. So they can, adjust for that demand.
Right.
Of, well, you can either spend more on a used car that you may or may not fail you, or you suck it up and pay the extra.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring back the $1,500 clunkers on Craigslist, please and thank you.
Which it all just leads into fucking the way credit is in this country, and
Yeah.
way too much for.
We are
podcast.
getting way off here.
Yeah. Look,
We're crusty old millennials.
we're crusty old millennials. One of us is incredibly poor and hates the government and hates the markets and hates a lot of things.
And I'm Eric.
Yeah. So, You know, you can do with what you want with all that information.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, be on the lookout. And honestly, this is another reason to continue to buy local.
Buy local or make your own.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think to sum this up in the end, I think what's going to happen is the cheapest pints are going to be the pints that you couldn't get in 2020.
Right.
It's going to be the reverse of the pandemic because now you don't want to pay fucking packaging fees or any of that. So everybody's going to go to the bars.
This is all just a mastermind plan to get everybody back into the bars.
Yeah. Like, it's just the reverse of everything now. You're like, well, shit, cans are more expensive and imports are more expensive and all this other stuff. Drinking at home is now more expensive, so go out to the bar.
I guess I'm going to the brewery.
Yeah. Everybody's going to go to their local. So places like Ultra Genius and Lincoln Ave and Fermata and, you know, all those places that are like within walking distance of, you know, people, but aren't necessarily like within walking distance of other places. You know?
They will become the new community centers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You get a whole bunch of new community centers.
So for that, thank you, Heineken.
Yeah, I guess. Thanks, inflation.
We're all going back to the brewery where we belong.
I am switching to bathtub gin.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Get ready for Steve reviewing his own distilling.
I mean, you can do that.
Yeah.
You just can't sell it.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying people aren't going to be very happy when we stop reviewing beers from North Carolina and start talking about the fucking blind ass methanol shit that I'm making at home that they can't taste.
Segment 2 will be fruits soaked in said methanol.
Although it may generate some FOMO.
Right?
I can't get it. Why can't I get it? I want some.
For the right price, you can.
Yeah. But
$80 on this stump. There'll be a quart for you later. You buy the jar. What's inside is free.
Hell yeah. You want to do something a little less heavy-minded?
Yes.
And less political?
We went down a rabbit hole there.
Yeah, well, look. You have to be willing to go down those rabbit holes.
It's
you
true.
have to be willing to talk about what's actually happening in the world.
And have an opinion about it.
Yeah. You can't be a fucking doofus just sitting around not having an opinion on anything.
That sounds way too boring.
That's too many other shows.
Whoa.
Ha! Gotcha. Ah.
Whoever you are.
Whoever you are, now think about yourselves.
If you thought about yourself, you know who you are.
Yeah. If that hurt you, well, maybe
Guess
fix
what?
your content.
So what else you got?
Dictionary.com is adding beer words.
Really?
Yes.
What kind of beer words?
They're adding 10 specific beer words, and this is all coming. They're saying they're adding these words because home brewing became such a cool thing in 2020 and throughout the pandemic.
Oh no, we're hipsters now.
Yeah.
We did it before it was cool.
Right. We got there before it was cool.
The second time around.
Right, yeah. Second time around. Not the 80s time, but, you know, the other time it came back. So, yeah, they decided they're going to add a bunch of words. They're adding Bock beer, Dunkel, Goza.
Those weren't already in there?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah. I know. Pilsner, Saison, Sour, Wheat beer, which is 2 words,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Wit beer, which I guess is how they can link to wheat beer.
I find it very surprising that Pilsner was not already in there.
Yeah.
I would have put all sorts of money on that being in there.
I would have thought too. And then you'll like this one. They're also adding Hefeweizen.
Yes.
So yeah, basically all the things that you'll brew, I guess. I don't know why they thought those would go in, because a lot of those are really complicated styles to brew, and you won't brew Bocks and Dunkels right out the box.
At least you shouldn't.
Yeah, like most people don't have lagering right out the box. So yeah,
Did they have Caribou Slobber in there as an entry? Because that seems like everybody's first beer.
I didn't look, but maybe you look up Urban Dictionary.
Oh.
I bet there's a couple entries for Caribou Slobber.
Probably.
Yeah, just out of my own curiosity, I did go to like the other dictionaries,
Okay.
like Merriam-Webster and Oxford.
Yeah.
Oxford doesn't seem to like any beer terms.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
I went looking, and then Merriam-Webster had some of these already in there. I was like, oh, well, yeah.
So I'm
This ain't really
curious,
news.
in the dictionary world, which one is the Coca-Cola, which one is the Pepsi, and which one is the RC Cola?
I would give dictionary.com the RC Cola.
Mhm.
Just because they're the kind of...
They're the newest.
Yeah, they're the newest. They're a new upstart, and nobody thinks about them too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you find in schools. I would... Merriam-Webster... I don't think there is a Pepsi.
You don't think so?
No, I think Merriam-Webster is Coke.
All right.
Because that's what Americans use.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
And then Oxford is, I don't know, whatever the fuck.
Tea?
Maybe. Tea. I don't know what the most... Maybe Pepsi's the most popular in the UK.
I don't know.
Yeah. But whatever their favorite drink is.
If you're listening and you're in England or
Yeah.
the United Kingdom,
Yeah.
let us know what the number one soft drink is over there.
But don't be from Scotland and say Brew. It's not right. That's just your thing.
And that's okay.
It's okay, but like also send Brew.
Yeah.
But don't say
Yeah.
that that's the most popular.
Well, they could say it if they send it as well as like an apology at the
Sure.
same time.
Sure.
And like, I didn't brew, but here, have some.
Yeah.
All right, get in here.
All right. But yeah, Oxford is too stuffy. they put U's where they're not needed.
Oh. My color has no U.
Yeah. You know what beer style was always in the dictionaries though?
What's that?
Stout.
Yes. As well it should be.
Always there. Stouts.
Because stouts are always there for you.
Yeah, stats are always there. So
Man, that's a good t-shirt idea.
yeah, stouts are there for you. Send R&B.
Did your woman just break up with you and you're in a shambles of life? Stouts will always be there for you.
Stouts. Have you tried stouts?
Oh, stouts.
There's a good TikTok account.
No, there isn't.
Yeah. What do you mean?
The TikTok is good, actually.
Yeah,
Enjoy
there's
it.
plenty of good TikToks accounts. Stop trying to be some fucking boomer crank.
Boomer crank. Band name called it.
I forget his name. I think it's like The Cut Above, maybe, or something like that.
Okay.
But like he just posts a lot of videos marketing fucking morning beers and day drinking and
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
it's good stuff. It's just a lot of that same. It's like, well, are you feeling down? Have you tried morning beers?
Have that right after your shower beer.
Yeah. Have you tried drinking during the day? Any weekday can feel like a weekend if you're drinking. It's like, hell yeah, bro.
This guy gets it.
Yeah.
So OED being a bunch of stuck-up snobs.
Mm-hmm.
Disappointing.
Yep. Shouldn't stand for it, but, they're not in charge of us anymore, so.
They are in charge of Jeopardy, though.
They're in charge of Countdown, too.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. They got to make money somehow.
Yeah, it's an English show, so it makes sense.
Now let's go to these golden bowls.
Okay. Well, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. Short week on the news, notes, and neat.
Yeah. We got other stuff, but it's not like pertinent.
No.
We can do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Next week, whatever.
You just want me to sit in my living room and just talk to nobody about news?
Yeah. I just want you to do another podcast for no fucking reason. We'll do it next week.
Hi.
Hey, you don't know. If somebody's listening to this on a Thursday, as they shouldn't,
That's right. They're stacking them up.
yeah, then they can hear this, and then the very next day they go, oh, yeah, here's that thing Steve was going to talk
Those
about.
guys knew about it. They've been living in my phone.
We got one person.
And for that, you're welcome, whoever you are.
Gotcha.
So what do you say we get back to this Bhramari?
Yeah.
Whew. You could just pour this right on French toast.
Yeah. Yeah, you could. And again, we'll talk about that next segment as well.
Okay. But yeah, it is a good beer. It is a well-crafted beer. Not a beer that I would drink 3 of.
No, not at this age.
I don't even know if there's many 22-year-olds out there that would hammer through 3 of those.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Kids are fucking stupid, bro. You kidding me? Fucking, remember how there used to be like a whole thing about like people butt chugging?
Yeah.
And they had to be told, don't butt chug because you die?
Here we are. This is polite butt chugging.
Yeah, this is way like, way softer than butt chugging.
So, and this seems like the kind of beer that somebody would pull out at a party with the beer bong, and somebody would say, I'll bong that.
Yeah.
And I would be mad at them from afar because I wouldn't be at that party because I'm in bed by 10.
Maybe in your younger days. The thing is, these beers didn't exist.
True.
in our younger days.
Mhm.
That's the problem.
Now they do.
At least not as proliferated across the country as they are.
Yeah.
Like, you can find fucking 10, 12% nightmares anywhere you can go.
Mhm.
But that's the thing. They didn't exist when we were younger. But do you not fucking think during the time that you were living with Sam and I was crashing on the couch that at some point either Sam or I would not be bonging these beers?
Well, you probably would have.
Yeah.
And I probably would have been like, oh, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, we absolutely would have. We just didn't have them available to us. So instead we drank other shit that was crazy.
So this reminds me of old guys complaining about the weed of today is way more powerful than the weed back in the 60s.
Right.
All we had was ditchweed. We were happy for it.
Well, that's the thing. All you had was ditchweed. You didn't have actual like scientists who work on fucking strains, who like make hybrids and like really understand the oils and how much like THC is included in strains.
We had farmers. They had horticulturists.
Right. My dad literally found ditchweed by his first home.
Really?
Yeah, like he had moved in with my mom,
Mhm.
and just like there was a plant
Oh,
just
okay.
growing out of a fucking ditch because I guess somebody threw some stemmed seeded fucking shitty joint in the ditch and then it grew from that. I don't know. He found literal ditchweed.
That's awesome.
I don't know how it got there. I wasn't born yet.
You weren't there. Couldn't have seen it happen.
Yeah. So
Yeah. All right. I think we need to get something a little lighter.
yeah, let's tune it down a little bit.
Yes.
But it'll still be French toast.
Because it's French toast season.
Hell yeah.
We'll be right back. First Sip Brew Box is a one-of-a-kind subscription service for craft beer lovers based right here in Pittsburgh. Every month, First Sip will send you a box full of craft beer enthusiast essentials, including t-shirts, glassware, and even food. Right now, our friends at First Sip Brew Box have an offer for you. Just sign up for a 3-month subscription and get your 4th month free. Just enter the code HOPUSA when you sign up at firstsipbrewbox.com. That's HOPUSA at checkout to get your 4th month free at firstsipbrewbox.com.
Well, welcome back to episode 236 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. It's segment 2, and it's Adam and I hanging out, drinking French toast beers.
Being cool.
Being cool. Like the cool cats. All cool cats are drinking French toast beers in February.
If you ain't drinking French toast beers in February, you ain't a cool cat.
But, yeah, we're doing another one. And this one...
We're doing another one.
Another one. As...
Otherwise, it would be a real shitty theme.
As the Khaleds would say, another one.
Another one. Another one.
But this one's called the Toast-O Crunch.
Toast-O Crunch?
Toast-O Crunch.
Oh, okay. So it's an Irish beer.
Yeah, perhaps I should, Irish it up a bit. We're doing the Toast-O Crunch.
Hoity.
Hoity toity from the Artisanal Brew Works out of Saratoga Springs, New York. The Toast-O Crunch.
Oh, sure you did.
You know what? It actually is an Irish beer. Because it's a red ale.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a red ale.
So we're not being derogatory.
That's right. We're just putting it a pass so you can understand how the brewers wanted it to be
That's
understood.
right. If you're offended, that's your fault.
That's your fault. This is how they meant it.
Your misinterpretation, not ours.
Yeah. But it seems like this is kind of a seasonal release that they put out. Something for the winter months. Something to enjoy. It is brewed with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal.
Mm-hmm.
But then they add even more cinnamon.
Really?
Yes. And some lactose and some nutmeg.
Nutmeg.
Lactose and a red ale.
Listen, it's 2022.
Look, don't try to judge because I already said there's Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal in a red ale. Lactose isn't the problem here.
We're way past any of this.
General Mills is the problem.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation.
But yeah, it appears it's going to have a whole bunch going on. It is 7.4%. So
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're coming down from the fucking motor oil syrup of cinnamon that Bhramari put out.
Oh,
Good beer, but holy Jesus.
yeah. Yeah, it is. And yeah, it is.
Yeah. But You'll like this as well. 0 IBUs, according to the Untapped.
All right. I'm on board with that.
Who knows if there even is hops on this?
Who knows? Maybe they just walked the hops past.
They fucking blew hops in the face of the tank like like Mr. Fuji does with salt. Yeah.
I would appreciate a brewery that does something like that.
Sure.
I would support that brewery.
Yeah. But yeah, let's pour up the Toast Crunch.
Toast. Oh, crunch.
And you know what? I did it a disservice
How so?
because right on the label, it says with even more crunch. So I did them a disservice. I'm sorry, Artisanal. I ain't mean to.
With more crunch.
Which I can only assume means more cereal.
I can assume that as well. Yes.
Looking at it though, not exactly what I think of as a red ale,
No, not at all.
but it is darker than.
I would honestly, if somebody poured this up blindly, I don't know if that's a word.
Sure.
I would be starting off with like a Belgian,
Yeah, same. Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
and maybe go into like a lager. Red would have been way off of my list.
Yeah, I would have went probably right to Belgian double maybe, but it's not. I don't think it's too far off. It is darker in color than most beers that you find. It's just there's something orange.
Yeah.
There's an orange tint to it rather than a copper.
Right. But not a bad looking beer at all. Just
No.
not what you were expecting.
This is like last week we did that O'Fallon beer. And if you look at it, you wouldn't know what the fuck it,
Right.
You wouldn't know if it was goof time.
It's a mystery beer. This is
Yeah.
kind of another, I'll say, surprise beer.
Right. On the nose, I get a little bit of cinnamons. A little bit.
Yeah, it's there.
Definitely not as much as the first beer.
No, and not as obnoxious as a Red Hot Iron.
No, and it's definitely not like overly sweet on the nose either.
No.
It seems more subtle, more muted than what we started with.
Right. Well, that's a high bar.
I like that.
I can taste the crunch.
Sure.
I'm glad they put in more crunch.
But can you taste the more crunch?
Duh. This refined palate? Oh, yeah.
Do podcasters even know why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yes.
Yeah, I like this. It's a lot more malty
It is.
than it is goof ass cereal time.
Yeah. The first go around was definitely a lot of playing around. Granted, it is serious business, but they packed a lot into that.
Yeah.
This one, I find it to be a bit more drinkable. But full disclosure, I usually don't like cinnamon in my beers, especially when it's a cinnamon forward beer.
Right.
I don't mind it when cinnamon is in there as a supporting player. But when it's the main show, not a big fan. This,
I get
not so bad.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because I'm not like the biggest fan. I mean, I probably bag on it anytime I get a chance. Just at the mere mention of Fireball, I'll say something derogatory about Fireball.
Well, and deservedly so.
Right. And then you mentioned Red Hot Iron already, which is the most disgusting thing that's been produced in the past 10 years in beer.
Yes. At least if it isn't, it's at the top in that conversation.
Yeah. That was gross and foul. And, I'm sure they're ashamed of it, but
And
they should still be ashamed.
do better, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Do better.
I thank God that never made it outside of the city limits, maybe.
Allegheny County, there's a hard line.
We can't let Philadelphia know that we did that. They can't be known that we produced something like that at all.
Yeah, but I'm sure
They'll make fun of us.
there's a Philly brewery that tried to put Cheese Whiz in their beer or something like that.
Sure. But, we don't know about it. That's the thing. We can't let people
That's
know.
right. That's an inside secret.
Yeah, we can't let Philly know about that. Chicago can't know about that.
Oh, I'll guarantee you, Chicago's done some goof ass shit.
Oh, yeah, I know there's some like Malort adjacent beers. I think there's been some Malort barrel-aged beers out there.
Somebody tried to make a Chicago style beer with
Yeah.
peppers and a pickle.
Oh, yeah, there's some sport pepper beers out there, I'm sure. But hey, it's, again, internal secrets.
That's right. Keep it inside Cook County.
Yeah. Can't be telling each other these mistakes.
Put it in the oops file and move on.
Yeah. Texas don't give a fuck. That's how they market.
That's how they get you in there.
Yeah. But yeah, back to this beer by Artisanal from New York. Yeah, no, I think it's still a desserty beer because it's still pretty creamy. Like it's creamier than a red ale. It's more desserty than a red ale. But red ale is an interesting base to go with.
I'm curious how they came to that conclusion, whether it was the malt profile they felt would have worked the best or what it was that made them settle on the red ale. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it was a bad choice.
No. I don't think it's a bad choice. And I think it's obviously an interesting choice because the majority of the time you're going to see this in a stout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying, it being a dessert beer. I could see this pairing with a lot of good desserts because it has a level of sweetness without being obnoxiously sweet.
Right.
So it works well with a lot of desserts, I would think.
Yeah, not because it's more of a pair with dessert, I think this goes kind of off style.
Okay.
Of like what the beer, because it's like a cereal beer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Irish, but I think it would actually go well with like Mexican fried ice cream.
You know what? I had Mexican on my brain as well.
Yeah. Just it like, because Mexican fried ice cream usually has like some cinnamon element to it at some point, and so does this, but this isn't so overly obnoxious that it would. They're both simple dishes.
My thought was a Mexican style brownie, which is cinnamon and cayenne mixed into the brownie batter.
Yeah. Or even a churro.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go.
Yeah. Because again, cinnamon.
Cinnamon and cinnamon.
Yeah. And then a little chocolate dip. Yeah.
You can rim the glass if you're really feeling saucy.
Sure.
Why not? I don't care. You do what you want.
Yeah.
Just don't murder people.
Yeah. Do what you want. Just don't bother us.
Don't break the law and you just do whatever. I don't care.
Or break the law. Just don't make it hurt us. Now on to the libertarian part of the podcast.
Cats and flags everywhere.
Don't crunch on me.
I saw a new one recently that instead of a snake, it was a possum holding a butcher's knife.
Yeah.
Saying no crossing possum.
God.
Yeah, so those stickers are coming in the mail from Etsy sometime in the next couple of days.
Hell yeah.
That's going on the podcast box.
Sure. I'm fine with that. But yeah, overall, this is an enjoyable beer.
It is.
I do not have a choice at the moment. Like I don't have a front runner.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I said, no, you have all sorts of choices in your life.
I have plenty of choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just do not have a front runner in my mind of what I would want more.
Well, don't make a decision yet because we still have a third one.
Yeah.
Come on, brah.
But no, that's how I'm teasing the audience. I'm telling the audience I don't know.
Oh.
So, there's no clear front runner yet.
I mean,
stay tuned.
Let's be honest. It's the middle of the second segment.
Yeah.
We got them hooked.
Yeah.
We already got them.
It's fine.
You listener, I'm talking to you.
We got you. But yes, it's time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the history of French toast.
Oh.
So
there's an actual history.
Yeah, there's a history of everything.
Well, okay, a documented history. It didn't just sort of like...
Oh, yes, there is a documented history, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was one of those things that just sort of was always there.
And you're not terribly wrong with that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's been around for fuck ever, but... yeah, when we originally were doing this episode, it was starting as like a breakfast beer, because we've done breakfast beer episodes in the past, so it's like we do like one a year.
Yeah.
But then it turned into a French toast episode, and I was like, well, I think we've done the history of beer for breakfast.
Oh, yeah. That may have been like segment or episode 1, 2, or 3.
Right. It's been enough.
Yeah.
We've talked about breakfast for beer for breakfast. We've done all that.
Old news.
Old news. So, you know what? Let's just learn about French toast.
Yes, let's.
There's nothing wrong about learning about something outside of beer.
That's the edu part of the edutainment.
Yes. So here comes your edutainment and the history of French toast. French toast dates back to like the 1st century in Rome. It's the first time it was documented.
Really?
Yeah. There was a glutton in Rome.
Okay.
Yeah. And his name was Apicius.
Apicius.
Yes. And Apicius he compiled one of the first cookbooks.
Ah, okay.
And it wasn't just like a cookbook, but like the book translated, it's on the subject of cookery.
Okay.
And it had a lot of recipes in it. But also he was documenting just the diets of people in the Mediterranean area.
Oh, okay.
So he was just kind of like, what do people in fucking Crete eat? Okay, octopuses and fucking figs. Good for them. What do people in Rome? So he was doing that kind of shit. And his book is actually referenced by Pliny the Elder in Pliny the Elder's book, Natural History.
Okay.
Yes, and that's as Pliny the Elder was talking about how to make pork pate and things of that nature. Yeah. Yes, and foie gras.
That's what? That's duck liver, isn't it?
Yeah, duck liver is foie gras. And
Yeah.
then, yeah. Pliny the Elder was talking about Apicius's discovery of that you can also force feed pigs to make liver pate.
Oh.
You're right. So, but that's not
Humans are horrible creatures.
more or less. Yeah. I only bring up Pliny the Elder because hey, that's beer related.
Yeah.
People recognize that.
Loose tie-in, but we'll take it.
It's a loose tie-in, but hey, it's all part of history, and that actually legitimizes this a little bit more. But, yeah, Apicius is he had one of the early recipes of French toast,
Okay.
but it was just like called a sweet dish.
Oh, all right.
But the recipe hasn't changed.
No, that's not that difficult to begin with.
Yeah, he just take bits of white bread, soak it in milk and eggs, fry it in oil, top with honey.
That's it. That's the list.
That's it. That's how you go. But you may be saying to yourself, Steve, how is that French toast? For why do we call it French toast?
Yes, Steve, why?
Because Americans are stupid. We have these dumbass people who founded the country and proliferated it. Because the French don't even call it French toast.
What do they call it?
Well, they started by calling it pain à la Romaine.
Romaine. Okay, that makes sense.
So bread of the Romans.
Yeah.
That's what they originally called it. Today, they actually call it pain Perdue.
Pain Perdue?
Yes, which is lost bread.
Okay.
And that ties to like the origination of like how most commonly French toast was made with bread that had gone stale or is like about to go off, which I think it's pretty common practice even still today.
Oh, to use stale bread?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you just-
I did that earlier this week.
Yeah, you get that hard ass crusty bread and you rejuvenate it by dunking it in some milk and some eggs. But yeah, it was called lost bread
Okay.
because that's the bread that was lost, but like let's save it. Let's
Right.
not make waste.
Right.
We can save it with like the other two staples in our fucking fridge.
That are always there.
In our ice box, in our cavern.
Right next to the lagering barrels.
Right. Our milk and eggs. So yeah, that's where that came from. And then why it was called French toast? Some dumb Englishman had it and then started proliferating that around the 17th century, just when people were ready to get on the boats and go to America.
It all makes sense now.
And all those dumbass Puritans brought it over.
Jeez.
All those buckle-shoed idiots.
Buckle-shoed idiots.
Yeah.
All right. Coming after them pilgrims hard.
That's right. All those witch-fearing imbeciles.
Man.
They didn't understand that it was just eggy bread.
it's just eggy bread. It's
Which-
okay.
Yeah. Which is what it's actually called in England a lot.
Just eggy bread.
Yeah, it's just, Tom, they gave my eggy bread, isn't it?
I like French toast better, I'll be honest.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Compared to eggy bread.
Yeah, French toast is it's wrong, but it still sounds way fancier. They're like,
Eggy bread.
yeah, I got my eggy bread, don't I?
It's almost like you have to shake your head and your
Yeah, you
shoulders.
have
when
to.
Eggy bread.
Gonna pop on down to the pub, have a pint, a little bit of eggy bread. A little bit of eggy bread for breakfast, isn't it?
Ah,
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
it does. It does.
Yeah, maybe you want to adopt one of the other names for it. So in Germany, I had mentioned in the 17th century it had popped up as French toast in England, but Germany had been doing it for a minute, and so did the Nordic countries, and they all call it a form of Armrider.
Armrider.
Yeah, it's best I can come with.
All right. Okay.
But it translates to poor knights.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Not entirely sure why poor knights. I assume it's just because
We're poor. We need to eat. This is
Yeah.
all we got left.
yeah, it's a fancy dish. So it's something like a poor knight would eat because a knight still wants to maintain some fanciness, some hierarchy.
Right.
above people.
The level of errors.
Yeah. So like if his servants and serfs and everybody below him are eating moldy bread, then at least he can eat eggy bread.
Eggy bread.
Yeah.
Eggy bread.
But yeah, the Armredaer, that was pretty popular for Germanic and Nordic languages.
Mhm.
In Brazil and Portugal, they have rabanadas.
That's Portuguese.
Yeah, which not too different from preparation, but it seems they use cinnamon sugar a lot more commonly.
Really?
Yeah, they, like just coat the damn thing. Like
Oh.
after, like
okay.
after it comes out, you roll it in the cinnamon sugar.
Oh. Now that begs an interesting
Like
question.
like a pumpkin glass.
When do you add your cinnamon? Do you personally?
Personally, I add my cinnamon into the egg wash.
As do I.
Yeah, yeah. That's my personal thing. But I can see, like, I'm not the biggest cinnamon fan either,
Nor am I.
so that it gets kind of muted.
Mhm.
But I can see why you roll it in cinnamon sugar and you make a
Yeah.
it becomes way more of a dessert doing it that
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with putting it all. Honestly, I like putting most everything into the egg wash.
way. Okay.
All of your dry ingredients.
Yeah.
Putting it in there and then just topping it with the butter and the syrup afterwards.
Fair enough.
There's no reason to. Powdered sugar gets a pass
Yeah, yeah.
if you're feeling that fancy.
But powdered sugar is a presentation thing.
It
That's-
is.
Yeah.
It doesn't add anything. Doesn't subtract anything. But it
Well,
doesn't add anything.
It adds sweetness in a fucking mess, but
Well, it's already eggy bread.
yeah. I had mentioned in the first segment that this is actually a thing that's right for the season because we're heading towards Lent.
Yes.
It's actually a late ass Easter, I think. It's
Is
like
it?
March.
Oh,
I think like Lent starts March 1st.
I didn't know that.
Well, you don't have to.
I kind of should.
Eh.
I'm the only
What's he gonna do about it?
I'm the only Catholic on the show. I should know that.
Yeah, what's he gonna do about it? But in Spain, they have torrijas.
Brijas.
Torrijas.
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 Okay.
And torrijas is, again, the same thing. It's French toast, but they have it as dessert throughout Lent.
Okay.
So I'm assuming, like, if you're giving stuff up for Lent,
Mhm.
then the one little treat you can have.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I did find something interesting, though, in their preparation.
What's that?
They use wine.
Really?
Yeah. They use wine in the milk mixture. And sometimes outside of the milk mixture. I saw two different recipes and
So-
they use wine two different ways.
I'm curious what the thought process behind the wine is.
I don't know.
Just to add a little
Just to have
acidity to
thing.
it?
Yeah, maybe. Just a little acidity, a little bit of fruit.
Okay.
And just, again, if it's being served during Lent, it's like perhaps a blood of Christ thing.
That makes sense.
You know,
Mhm.
just
I'll
a
buy
little,
that.
yeah, just a little bit of that, a
Mhm.
little bit of religiousness, a little bit of thrown in, just again having alcohol
Right.
in the season.
Right. And the other thing is you could kind of get real fancy and say, well, it's not technically alcohol because it got burnt out during the cooking process,
Right.
but you still get the flavors.
Yeah,
Etc.
yeah, a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
The two ways I saw it prepared, though, I did see wine in the egg milk mix,
Mm-hmm.
and then another way I saw was preparing the wine on the stove. So like heating it up and then heating it up with like a cinnamon stick and some cloves and some oranges.
Okay. Yeah.
And then mixing it with some honey to create like a little bit of a syrup that way
Mhm.
and pouring that over top of.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So, I've seen that, you boil some tea with a bunch of cinnamon and stuff like that just to get a bunch of aromatics.
Right.
And I thought maybe that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
But danging it down all the way down to a syrup, that takes a long time.
Yeah. And they also add like more sugar into it. So it does boil.
Thicken it up.
Yeah.
So it turns almost like a jelly, like a pre-jelly.
Yeah. I mean, there's no gelatin in it, but yeah, it gets real thick, and then you add the honey in, so you get like a syrup that's not maple based. So, but yeah, I thought that was very interesting, and seeing that made me think, well, why don't we use beer more often?
Well, see, the problem with me is anytime I put beer on the stove and I start boiling it,
Yeah,
kibasis always end up in there.
fair enough. That makes
And
sense.
I can't get past that point.
Right, but now it's time to reimagine and just dedicate maybe half a stout
All right.
to making your French toast.
Admittedly, that Old Oktoberfest works really well for that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Consider if you have a goof ass giant stout.
Mhm.
If it's 10 or 11% or whatever,
Yeah.
maybe only incorporate like a quarter of the can.
Mm-hmm.
But see if you can impart some Lucky Charm marshmallow flavors into your
A balanced breakfast.
yeah. Can you barrel age your French toast?
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah. Maybe
Gross.
maybe go all the way. Yes. Barley wine.
Yes. I haven't had a good barley wine in a while.
It's been a minute.
Need to change that. We need to have another barley wine episode.
Yeah.
Like 8 people here.
Yeah.
'Cause
Barley wine's a lot.
yes, it is.
Gratitude Day.
Mm-hmm.
Coming.
So what about the Japanese? Did the Japanese do anything when it comes to the French toast?
I didn't really see too much, but they do. Like I didn't write it down.
Okay,
But
'cause
like every culture has, the Japanese, the Chinese, everybody has.
It just seems like the Japanese always take a twist on something like that. They always have their own flair, their own flavor to it.
Yeah.
Which I typically enjoy.
Yeah. Because their cheesecakes are way different than our cheesecakes.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to say that I had first seen like stuffed French toast coming from Japan or Korea.
What are they stuffing it with?
Everything.
Oh.
But like you get like an extra thick piece of bread.
Yeah, like a Texas toast? Or
but
thicker?
thicker, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you cut it open and then you stuff it. And it's like, I've seen it with like cream and strawberries.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you fry it up. And I feel like I've seen that first coming from Southeast Asia,
Okay.
but I couldn't find proof to back myself up. And so,
Well, next time you get on a street cooking video binge, look that up.
sure. Yeah.
Report back.
Sure. I mean, I've definitely seen it from there, but I just can't prove that they did it first. That's all I can't prove. So,
Well, I can be convinced that they were the
Yeah.
first to do it.
yeah, I can't ascribe it to them. I can't say that's the way Asians do their French toast because that sounds racist.
But delicious.
It's delicious, I'm sure. But yeah, I've seen that a number of times, and it's just like a very foodie thing and a very experimental foodie thing.
Oh, I'm
But-
certain. I'm certain there are 1,000 different ways that people try to goose it.
Yeah. So we obviously can't talk about French toast without talking about one of the best French toast sandwiches,
What's that, Steve?
the Monte Cristo.
Yes.
And this is a very American thing. As
So American that sometimes I call it a Monte Carlo.
who calls it a Monte Carlo?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, this was for sure invented in Southern California. I believe this came up on our sandwich episode.
I believe so as well. Yes.
like a year ago. So, yeah, if you've never had a Monte Cristo, it's just a ham and cheese sandwich, but you replace the bread with French toast and definitely powder sugar it.
Oh, yes.
because that's how you make it fancy.
Yeah. Pinkies out, everyone. Yeah. Unless you're me and then you had yourself a Monte Carlo, which is the same thing, only me being wrong.
Right. I feel like I didn't see enough variations on this.
I mean,
I just don't see, I feel like we should have more variations because, okay, when you replace the pastrami with turkey, what is that?
ooh, pastrami with the turkey.
You replace the pastrami with a turkey. It's not a Reuben. It's
Well, wait, pastrami? I always use corned beef.
whatever. You replace either of those.
What's
Fucking Irish people, god damn them.
Whoa! Whoa!
It's just Irish people stealing Jewish food. You quit it.
And then the Californians stealing the Irish food, putting turkey in it.
But yeah, when you replace the pastrami or corned beef with turkey, it's a Rachel, not a Reuben.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like we should have more variations on the Monte Cristo.
Like a Monte Carlo.
Yeah, sure. Like invent that. Come
Sure.
up with that.
Patent pending.
But instead of ham, maybe it's like a spicy capicola,
Yeah.
and you call it a Monte Diablo.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Make a spicy sandwich.
I mean, you could just do that.
Yeah, but I'm saying it needs to be popularized.
Well, who do we know that's in the sandwich biz?
I don't know. I'm in the sandwich biz with
Well,
the amount of sandwiches I buy.
Oh, well, okay. All right.
I'm going to open up a fucking food truck.
Good.
It's going to be all Monte Cristo variations.
Good. I'll come support you.
Good. Fine.
I don't know why I would be so mad about eating delicious sandwiches.
I don't know. If you want to celebrate National French Toast Day, it is not in Lent.
Okay, when is it?
It is November 28th.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. Just because everything has to have a fucking day anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
When are we going to have our day? When are we going to have a Hop Nation USA Day?
I don't know. Mayor's got to declare it.
We'll talk to the mayor.
Yeah, well, we got a new mayor, so
I know.
no longer fucking Bill Perdue holding us back.
That's right, in a city that neither of us actually live in.
Right. The mayor can now institute a Hop Nation USA Day.
That'll bump the numbers up.
Hell yeah.
We'll get 16 listeners that day.
Dope.
Yes. New records.
Going back into the world of beer, we are talking French toast beers,
Yes.
and these aren't the only ones in the world.
No.
In fact, there's a shitload of French toast beers. I unfortunately could not track down the first one.
Oh. Okay. Chronologically.
Chronologically, yeah. All my Google foo and just basically platforms are dog shit. Untapped and
Yeah.
Beer Advocate. You're not good for finding things like this.
Well, I'll be honest. I'll give Untapped a pass in that regard. They're too new. They're too new to go back into the histories of things.
No.
Beer Advocate, I would shake my finger at a little heavier.
Beer Advocate, I shake my finger because platform is like hard to use. But Untapped, all they have to do is incorporate a release date search function. That's all I want.
Okay.
I want a release date search function. And you can find that like when you look at the profiles of breweries on the desktop. But you have to specifically use the desktop site.
That's yeah.
And then look at the specific brewery. But you can't just search by that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an obnoxious lack of functionality.
Well,
when it's something that could be incorporated.
Somebody's got to talk to somebody then.
Yeah. Well, maybe John is listening.
Yeah, as he should on a Friday.
Yeah. Maybe he's listening. If he is, throw it up the chain to add more search possibilities.
Hit us up.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
It's good. It's good research for other podcasts.
Also, we need to have you back on the show.
Yeah, we'll get him back too.
Yeah.
Next Zoom show.
There you go.
But the beers I did find, I found 3 specific French toast beers that people may want to be on the lookout for.
Okay.
2 of the top rated, and then one that is more specific to a reason.
Okay. I'm listening.
So if you want the top rated Beer Advocate French toast beer, it comes from the Pigeon Hill Brew Company out of Muskegon, Michigan.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Of course it's Michigan.
Yeah. Muskegon, Michigan. It is the centigram on French toast. It's 11%. Yeah.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah. And it has a 97 rating.
Really?
Yeah.
On a scale of 100.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
On Untapped, it's 4.29.
Okay. All right. Heavy hitter still.
So obviously it is good beer, but it's not the highest rated one on Untapped. The highest rated one on Untapped is a barrel aged French toast by Angry Chair out of Tampa.
Okay.
That comes in at 4.49. So
nice.
But it's also like a 10% stout.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
But the most important category is highest ABV.
I knew it. I knew it.
The Rage Against the French Toast.
What?
I don't know, man. Don't ask me. By the Brown Iron Brew House out of Washington, Michigan.
Again, on the mitten.
Back to Michigan. 18%.
Holy Hannah.
Yeah. But it's made with Vietnamese cinnamon.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's good. We had that on a recent episode.
Yeah, that is the better of the cinnamons.
Yeah. We don't know why.
It just is.
Madagascar vanilla and Vietnamese cinnamon is great. Who knows?
We're not here to answer those questions.
Yeah, but those I guess are your whales of French toast.
French toast whales.
Yeah, there's a couple other ones. There's like one that was retired that had like a 4.3, and I think the Funky Buddha one was pretty high up there, but I think they're owned by a macro now, so maybe that makes people sour on it. Yeah, there's your history of French toast. Hope you learned something.
And in 2003, for a very brief period of time, French toast was renamed to Freedom Toast.
Yeah. Everybody remember those times
Yeah.
in America?
Wasn't that quaint?
Isn't that cool of us? That's how fucking stupid we are. Are you kidding me? It's not French toast to begin with.
No. You just corrected it the wrong way.
Then we correct it with jingoism. And now we've gone back.
Oh, my goodness.
Fucking nation of idiots.
What makes us think we're any better? Just because we have microphones in front of our faces?
Yes. And we recognize it.
We do recognize that we're idiots.
Yeah, being self-aware of the things that are bad and of how dumb you are, like your own self is.
Oh, I have to wallow in my own dumbness every day.
Yeah, like realizing what a piece of shit you are does slightly elevate you from everybody else who's a piece of shit.
That is true.
Because at least you know it.
You are self-aware.
Yeah, you go, fuck, I suck. You suck too. Why don't you understand you suck?
Why aren't you saying these same things?
Yeah. Why aren't we fixing any of this?
Oh, man, this is a real hard episode for French toast beers. It's supposed to be fun and light. And, you know.
Let's go get some CEOs.
Talking about Iggy bread. Pop it up. No, we're just self-reflection and old man yells at cloud.
Well, that is what the winter is for, Adam. The winter is for holding up in a dark room and reflecting on all your sins and then prostrating yourself in front of whatever God you believe in and hope he comes back with Easter eggs of chocolate.
And interjecting a John Mulaney special on Netflix once in a while.
Right.
That's about it.
Sometimes you watch Simpsons reruns, and that's okay.
It's not sometimes. It's all the time.
Well,
welcome to my rut.
Everybody's Simpsons intake is different, but
but it's never zero.
Right. But there you go. It's just what you do.
And speaking of intake,
yeah,
what'd you think of this beer? The what was it? The O Crunch?
Toast-O Crunch.
The Toast-O Crunch.
Oh no! Oops, the Touch-O Crunch.
Touch-O Crunch.
Not
we don't
bad.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Now with even more crunch.
Mm-hmm. I can taste the extra crunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Touch-O Crunch. I like it.
I don't hate it either. It is definitely a lot lighter than a Bhramari.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot lighter, and just everything else is less pronounced, but not in a way that you can't taste it. Like,
Right, and I don't think that we could ascribe this to just our palates being blown out after half of that beer.
no.
Now, granted, that didn't help, but
Yeah, it doesn't help to coat your tongue in thick Exxon spills.
5W30.
Yeah, yeah, having an ecological disaster in your mouth. But yeah, this is just much subtler every way around compared to the Bhramari. However, it still has a lot of flavor on it. Like it's not a situation of, oh, I don't taste cinnamon, because I do.
Mm-hmm.
I taste the cinnamon. I taste the malt. I taste
And it's not particularly thin either.
No.
I could see this beer having the potential of being somewhat thin with just a cinnamon coating on top.
Yeah.
This is a fully fleshed out beer, and I think it is well executed.
Yeah, if you just put fucking cinnamon into Smittix or Killian's, yeah, like that's what you would get as like a red ale. That's
Right.
But this is it is a lot thicker and a lot creamier. It's unmistakably red ale plus.
Yeah.
But
I could definitely see this beer being served with a brown sugar rim.
yeah.
I think that would go very well with this beer.
Yeah, brown sugar rim or even just cinnamon sugar.
Just if you're a cinnamon file, not a cinephile, that's
Nope.
movies.
Yep, there you go.
But if you are a cinnamon file, yeah, I can see you doing that.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Touch-O Crunch
Touch-O Crunch. Out of Artisanal Brewworks.
out of Saratoga Springs.
Yep.
There you go. We'll be right back. We're going to get another beer from somewhere in this beautiful country right after this.
Welcome back to the Joe Tutorial.
Whoa, Matt, this isn't an episode, it's a trailer.
Well, what the hell's a trailer, Adam?
It's where we tell people what they can expect from our podcast, Decaying with the Boys.
Well, they can expect to hear us talk shop on pro wrestling, craft beer, horror movies, and pop culture, like Britney Spears' creepy father and stuff like that.
We've literally never talked about Britney, but we do take our shots at everything else you said.
Well, then I guess I can also tell them they can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Anchor FM.
And don't forget to find us on all social media at Decaying WTB.
Cheers.
Content French is hard.
What's that even supposed to mean?
It's supposed to mean welcome back, and I don't really even understand how. Well, it's content. So, okay, if you were reading it in American,
Yeah,
terribly,
as you should.
yeah, it would be content de te revoir.
Okay, content de devoir.
So the resuming of content.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong, but it's just like that's very podcast specific to have his welcome back. Like content de te revoir.
Revoir.
French is fucking hard, and like doing French correctly is even like harder because you can do like real bad French.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then you got to worry about the French Canadians.
Yeah, that's different.
That's a whole other ball of wax.
That's totally different. But it's like obviously when French sounds like that, when when French sounds like this, when French sounds like that, right? And that's I'm assuming Google got it right,
I would assume that as well.
and it's supposed to sound like that. And then you have Americans come over and be like, "Content du revoir." I can understand how people would hate hearing that.
Yes, constantly.
But you have to make a concession that your language is a little too mush mouth.
Yeah. A little peanut butter in the mouthy.
Yeah. Like Spanish is great. I love Spanish because everything is phonetic, everything.
Phonetic and gendered and ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah. Phonetic, gendered, and just the right amount of staccato. And you have fun with rolling the R's.
Yeah.
Spanish rules.
Spanish is a fun language.
Yeah. Spanish rules. French has a lot of those same elements, but then there's a lot of and then I don't know if you've seen the videos
No.
of again, this is good TikTok content,
Uh-huh.
but it's the videos of like words in French that sound very the same,
Ah, okay.
and so it's something like, you know, the fish in the store and this, that, and that, and it's like when you put it all together, it just comes out. It's because it's all the same sound, and you just have to figure out from context.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
it's awful.
Oh, France, you're so silly.
So sorry, French people, for butchering your language, but also your language crazy.
Come on.
Yeah,
But what's not crazy is your toast,
French toast.
even though it's not yours.
Yeah, which also is not yours. It's the Romans.
It's the Italians.
Stop taking people's. Stop taking credit.
Ah, yes. But our third and final installment in our French toast soiree.
Mm-hmm.
That's a French word.
That is.
This is the French Toast Bites Ale.
And see, I bet you're pronouncing soiree wrong. I bet it's like soiree.
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 This comes from Yards Brewing Company out of Philadelphia.
See, that one's easy. It comes from Philadelphia.
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 Philadelphia. It's easy.
Yeah.
City of brotherly love. Whiz wit or without. But yes, this is a collaboration between Yards Brewing Company and Local Artisan Foods. I don't know who Local is. I assume they do good things, and I hope they do. But yes, this is their French Toast Bites Ale, and it clocks in 5.5% ABV. No idea on the old IBUs. Nobody cares. It's brewed with cinnamon, brown sugar, and vanilla. Oh, now here's something interesting. French Toast Bites was founded in 2018 by Charisse McGill. What started out as a freshly made street food treat in Philadelphia, PA, has now found its way into the beer scene.
Huh.
So there is a bit of a new age pedigree with this beer.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So we had the old school,
Yeah.
the new school,
Yeah.
and whatever Bhramari was doing.
And whatever Bhramari's up to.
Being delicious but wild.
Sure. Cool.
So there you go. Let's pour this up. Let's see what happens.
Okie doke.
So the French Toast Bites.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely the lightest looking beer of the three.
Indeed. It is like completely clear, like surprisingly clear.
Yes. Which is funny because according to the Untapped, and the Untapped knows all, this is supposed to be a brown ale.
That is not true. That's not what this is.
According to the Untapped. What does the can say?
It just says ale.
Okay.
So
But yeah, this is not a brown ale.
Not in the least. This is a true blue golden ale.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say blue, but
Right. Yeah. Gold. Yeah.
yeah, this is a golden ale. It is
It's golden.
exactly that. There's no other color to describe this
Right.
as. Head retention was okay. It had some decent effervescence as well. So
Mhm. On the nose, I'm getting like some honey sweetness on it.
yeah, I'm getting like honey and cinnamon.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with.
Sure, you should be. It's a French toast episode.
Right. It's all sweetness all the time.
So it's really subdued
Yes.
and not in a terrible way.
So the honey is sticking around on the aftertaste as well. It's kind of getting a honey coating going here.
Yeah, it's a lot more honey forward.
Mhm.
Like up front, it's very honey and then cinnamon, but then just kind of a honey golden ale
Yeah.
sticks with you all the way through.
I'm not getting much in the way of a French toast
No.
or a French toast, unless a French toast bite is something different.
Or
I'm listening.
they're going off the original Roman recipe
Oh,
that had a lot of honey involved.
that was Sneaky Pete's over at Yards.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not thinking French toast when I drink this.
No, I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it either. But it is very much more honey forward.
Mm.
And it says like it's brewed with cinnamon, brown sugar, and vanilla. And so I feel like I'm getting way more like brown sugar and vanilla out of this because it just has that. It has sweetness, but it is lesser than the red ale we just had.
Since we're talking honey, it's almost giving me mead vibes too.
Right.
But I know that there is a name for the combination of beer and mead.
Right, but it also usually isn't 5.5%.
Right.
You're thinking of a braggot.
A braggot. Thank you. All I could think of was grog, but I knew that wasn't it.
No, that's rum and water. There might be even a lesser name, like a name for a lesser blend. But I can't think of it at the moment. But yeah, you're thinking of braggots, which are usually like 13%.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it has sort of like mead tones to it, but it's just much more of just a sweet golden ale.
Yeah.
And it finishes with like I don't know, not my favorite kind of flavor. It's kind of like crackery.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say pickled eggs.
No, but it's like a wet sweet cracker
Ew.
because it's malty and sweet.
It is.
But like that's kind of all you get at once. Like that the other flavors don't carry all the way through.
Right,
to the tail
right.
end.
I mean, but all in all, it's not a bad beer. But I'll be perfectly honest, I was kind of taken by surprise by it, and I think that is simply because I had the mindset of the other two beers going in,
Right.
that I was going to be getting a lot of big flavors,
Yeah.
and this one is much more subdued. This is much more easy drinking.
Yeah. I think it's just something that like comes about when you make sweet ales that they have just kind of a dullness to them.
Yeah.
Because like it was something that was a little bit present in that Toasted Crunch, but the Toasted Crunch was more malty and sweet.
Yes. Thank you, red ales.
Yeah. This one is just because it seems like a straight down the middle golden ale. It seems a lot more just kind of dully sweet. It's not terribly interesting. Makes me think of Nilla wafers.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But Nilla wafers have their place.
They have their place, but it's usually at the bottom of banana pudding. Banana pudding is the star.
Banana pudding is the star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't completely love this one. I guess I wish there was more cinnamon on it.
Cinnamon rim. Cares all.
Yeah, just something to pop it a little bit more, because otherwise it just kind of tastes like a sweet bread. It's okay.
Not quite eggy bread. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, not quite eggy bread, isn't it? But
English, you're so silly. Yes. But we have been talking food an awful lot this episode, so we're going to keep going down that route. It is time for us to put together some flights, some food-based flights. We're going to have ourselves a menu. Breakfast, lunch,
we're
and
gonna have
dinner.
ourselves a menu.
We're putting together a menu for the day
Okay.
in way of beer flights. So what I'm doing, and you're doing, and the listeners are doing, is we're going to have 4 or 5 beers put together for breakfast, lunch, and for dinner.
Gotcha.
let's start with breakfast.
Okay.
The easiest of the foods when it comes to beer. Let's be honest here.
I mean, could be, but I mean, you can throw curveballs.
You can.
Obviously, everybody wants to include a coffee.
Yes. And that's actually how the first thing that I wrote, breakfast, coffee, comma, come on. And I wrote that to myself.
Right.
Come on.
Come on.
And so for that one, I literally just went with the last coffee beer that I had, which was the Little City by 4 Points.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. That's a great coffee porter.
Mhm.
Man. Yeah, I want to include a coffee, of course.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. I wish I would have had more golden ales with coffee as of late, but I haven't. I've just had fucking Little City and Clouded Distraction and
Right. Right.
all the other standard hits.
Which is still good in and of
Oh
themselves.
yeah, they're all good. It's just like I wish I could offer a little bit more than that. But yeah, Clouded Distraction. Mm-hmm.
There you go. So I'll go with the Little City. You go with the Clouded Distraction. So we have our coffee, but we also need something else to drink. We need some orange juice. So I'm gonna kowtow a little bit.
Okay, you don't have to.
I'm going to. Listen, we got to get listeners here. We got to sell T-shirts.
Yeah.
We got to get those merch numbers up. We need to get some Julius up in this. Julius. I don't care how many U's or S's or I don't care.
One of them.
I don't care. My kowtowing only goes so far.
Yeah.
I don't care which version.
You just gotta get some of that treehouse.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
That counts for the orange juice.
Here's your orange juice.
There, good
Yeah.
enough. You're
Balance.
happy now.
Balanced breakfast.
I don't know why I'm being so mean to people that aren't even here.
I don't know.
You're happy now with a choice that you didn't have. But now we need to get into something a little more robust.
Yeah.
The breakfast in and of itself.
Okay.
And I have a beer here from Pizza Port out of Carlsbad, California. Bacon and eggs.
Did they actually make it with bacon and eggs?
No, it is a coffee porter,
Oh.
but that is the name of it, bacon and eggs.
See, that's just back.
Listen, a lot of these are going to be name-based.
I understand, but I think, we can find some alternate swaps for that.
Well, you could also go with the Sunny Side Up by
Again.
Pizza Boy.
Okay, again, but that's
That's a
still
coffee.
that's just
Yeah.
another coffee. I'm thinking more along the lines of like, what about a Schlenkerla?
Oh, a smoked beer.
Yeah, a beer that tastes like bacon.
Ah, okay.
Even though because we've had a few bacon beers in our time.
We have to varying levels of success.
I would say they all stink.
I was trying to be nice.
I'm not trying to name names, but they've all not been good because they all just come out greasy.
Crazy.
Yeah, like they have like no head retention. You barely taste any bacon in them.
It's a Sam Squanch.
Yeah, it don't work.
No, just go with the smoked beer.
But smoked beers, they retain that smoky flavor and it tastes much more like barbecue than, I guess the other option would be, remember Duclaw the Q?
Yeah, but I don't know that I would put that in the breakfast category.
Neither would I, but it did have, it did achieve flavors.
Yes.
So,
but I will say, check out the label for the bacon and eggs by Pizza Port.
yeah,
Kind of a neat looking label.
good label.
It's just a bacon and egg hanging out, drinking coffee, looking over the ocean.
Fair enough.
It's got some vibes, man.
Okay.
It's got some vibes.
Okay.
I'm about it.
California vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if bacon and eggs doesn't get you where you need to go, you can always go to Kilo Brewing out of Paso Robles, California, with their doobies and breakfast burritos.
Hells yeah.
A little wake and bake
Yeah.
if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah. And what's in this beer? What is the style of
This is
beer?
a New England IPA.
I fucking figured.
Yes.
New England IPAs are the most egregious when it comes to just taking on crazy fucking names, but having nothing to do with them.
Right.
Like, I believe it's like the Hoof-Hearted beers. They're like huge double imperial stouts or whatever.
Yeah.
Or not stouts, double imperial IPAs. And they're like $600 nachos or whatever.
Right.
There's no nacho
It's
to it. There's
just
no,
a word salad.
Yeah, there's not even like a jalapeno in it that would make you think of nachos.
Right.
It's just,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah, jalapeno beers are great. But
they are great.
Yeah.
Looking at you, 11th hour, the tropical phoenix and your
Yeah.
rising phoenix
Yeah,
and other varieties of phoenix.
they all good.
We
Here's
need
the
a
thing.
Hobnation phoenix.
Hop Nation Phoenix. What is that made with? Reaper?
Reaper and stouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get at us, 11th hour.
So, is that what you've come down to?
Oh, no, I've got more for breakfast.
Okay. I just wanted to check. I didn't want to jump in too soon.
I've got one more. One
Okay.
more. And this is ubiquitous when it comes to breakfast, especially to people of a certain age. Us.
Yeah.
Us. And this comes from Hop Butcher for the World out of Chicago.
Sure.
It is an IPA
Yeah.
called Cold Pizza.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes.
How could you not have cold pizza for breakfast?
All right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. People love that.
Mhm.
I'm actually surprised. I thought you were going to go another route.
That being?
Well, again, because you said people of a certain age,
Oh,
which is millennials. We're millennials.
it's true. Been one for a while.
And what do millennials love more than anything? For breakfast.
Oh, I was going to say affordable housing and 401ks,
Yeah.
but we ain't getting any of that anytime soon, are we?
Yeah, you can't just say Xanax. No. Millennials, they love avocado toast.
Oh, is that a breakfast food?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
I've never had it.
Really?
Mhm.
Dude, do yourself a favor.
I always put avocados on my dinners.
They go. The avocados are for every meal.
Avocados from Mexico.
Yeah. You get sick now, I guess, or something.
I don't know, man.
I wasn't paying attention to that news story.
They're too expensive.
No, there is a avocado toast ale though.
Really?
Yes, it's called the Super Millennial Avocado Toast Ale.
Of course it is.
It is brewed by Bombshell Beer Company.
Nice.
Yes. It's a strong ale.
I'm curious how strong.
It is an 8% strong ale. So not that strong, but
Well,
strong.
Buff. It's buff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got some gains.
So they're willing to take their shirt off at the beach.
It's got some gains, but it skips leg day.
Never skip leg day.
Well, you shouldn't, but it does.
It happens anyways.
Yeah.
So that is our breakfast flight.
Super millennial avocado toast.
That'll get you out of the house. But now it is time for lunch.
Hell yeah.
It is time for us to re-energize. And what better than a sandwich?
Hell yeah. Sandwiches rule.
Such as a pork chop sandwich.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Well, just because I know this beer has no pork chops in it.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it does have a local flair, though. It is from Voodoo.
Yeah.
It's an IPA.
Yeah, I know.
There were several sandwich varieties available,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, Voodoo, they're local. All right, I'll give them some props.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I'm okay with all this. I'm just thinking,
Uh-oh.
does anybody have a hoagie? Has anybody gone so far as to make a hoagie beer?
Probably. Check Philadelphia breweries.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
Well, while you're checking,
but here's the thing: if Wawa hasn't done it at this point, then
fair. But with our sandwiches, it is lunch. You know, we need to have some soup with our sandwich.
hell yeah, soups.
Enter Stone Soup. A Belgian blonde by guess who? New Glarus.
Yeah,
So you know it's good.
what's a stone soup about?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Stone Soup is an old-timey, poor people food. I'm serious.
You can say Depression era food.
Okay, Depression era food. But I believe that's kind of a throwback of we don't have anything to put in the broth, so we'll put a stone in there.
Okay,
I believe that is the story behind Stone Soup.
sure.
I believe it is more of a fable rather than an actual thing.
Right, Yeah.
We were so poor we had Stone Soup.
right. Yeah, it definitely sounds
Yeah,
like something your grandparents lied to you about.
It's like a wish sandwich.
Right.
Mhm.
I've had some wish sandwiches.
Rubber biscuits.
Oh wait, does Wish deliver sandwiches now?
Oh no. Oh, gross. You imagine getting an egg salad sandwich on a Wish?
Oh, dude, that is euthanasia.
That is mean to yourself.
Yeah, that is a way to die.
Yeah, you're gonna get
No.
cramps before it even shows up.
You just feel bad. Like it's like that sense of impending doom people have when they before they have a heart attack. Like, I got an egg salad sandwich coming to me from Wish.
And then the doorbell rings. It's like, oh no, it's here.
It's here.
Oh no.
You know, sandwich.
But you can't just have soup. You need to have some crackers to go along with it.
Uh-huh.
And what kind of crackers goes best with it?
Pilsners?
Lord of crackers.
Oh.
And that is a wit beer by Cigar City.
Yeah, that one we know.
We do know that one.
I think the other way you can go with soups, though.
Yeah.
Because we're still on crackers and soups.
Mm-hmm.
Clam beers. Clam-based beers.
So I know there's oyster stouts out there.
There's oyster stouts, and that's like fancier.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely clam-based beers as well.
Speaking of, I haven't had a good clam chowder in a long time.
Yeah?
I need to change that.
I don't know who had
I don't either. Pittsburgh, hit me up. Who makes a good clam chowder?
I think I've seen it on the Grum. It's on the Grum. There is a new like highfalutin soup
Soup or soup place?
soup place.
Oh, okay.
There's not
Is this
just
some new age soup? Someone finally came up with a new combination after all these years.
It's a highfalutin purveyor of soups.
Someone's just in the kitchen. Cumin. Why didn't I think of cumin?
Yeah, I'm
Game changer.
yeah. They're doing soups in the Berg, but they're doing like classy soups.
Nice. Pinky out stuff.
Yeah, stuff with like real vegetables in it. None of that canned bullshit.
But we do need to wash this all down. And you know what? It's still midday. Don't have to have a beer quite yet. So let's just have a cream soda.
Oh, and I guess this is a cream ale.
It is a cream soda IPA.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing as what you were thinking earlier. IPAs, they can be molded into anything, according to the naming at least.
Mm-hmm.
But this is from Two Tribes, and they are out of beautiful London, England.
Yeah.
So we're getting international as we go about the day.
I mean, you can also just go with Abjuration.
This is true. They do have that cream soda.
They got that cream soda sour.
And the only reason I didn't go with them was their naming convention.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason.
Well, I mean, it's just called cream soda sour.
But hey, they got an honorable mention.
Yeah. I'll throw it in there.
Yeah, we still love their stuff.
I'll throw it in there. I love that. I love the soda sour series that they're doing right now.
Hell yeah, keep it up.
Yeah.
Abjuration all day, every day. Do you have anything else that you think we should have for lunch, Steve?
No, I can't find a hoagie beer.
So somebody's got to make a hoagie beer.
Yeah. I think there have been Reuben beers out there though.
I actually looked. I couldn't find any.
No.
I there's like a Reuben Brewing out there, which I thought about using, but like that's not quite it.
Yeah, I don't know if you search hard enough because there have definitely been Reuben beers in the past.
They may exist, but that's all in the past, man. We're on to dinner.
Get like a pickle beer too.
Well,
pickle will go with your sandwich.
That is true.
Pickle.
If only we knew a place that made good pickle beers.
I don't know
where.
Gratitude Day.
I say if they made one, they'd be almost famous.
Ha!
Nice. Nice. All right, it's time for dinner.
What's our dinner flight?
Our dinner flight. Well, we're going to get a little classy here. We have to start with salad.
Boo.
You won't say that when you get served the salad bowl by Alvarado Street Brewery out of Monterey, California.
Mm-hmm.
That's an IPA.
Sure.
You're into that sort of thing.
Sure.
And their reasoning behind it is the region that they are in is called the Salad Bowl of America.
Oh.
Because of all the crops that are grown in the region.
Oh.
I did not know that.
Neither did I.
And now you know.
That's cool, I guess. Good for them.
History lesson in every sip.
Learn something new with every minute of the show. Learn what the salad bowl is.
Yes. But let's get into our. Would you like to do the sides, or would you like to do the main dish first?
Let's do sides, yo.
Let's do sides. All right. So the first side that we have comes from Funky Buddha. They're out of Florida. You've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
And that is going to be their sweet potato casserole. Yeah. See, I had a choice here between like a sweet potato or a regular like mashed potato.
Right.
I prefer a sweet potato.
Oh, yeah, for
Sweet
sure.
potato or a yam? Yeah.
Yeah,
I much prefer that.
I enjoy the sweet potato. Like, they sell them in the steamer bags, right?
Yeah.
I like that. It's an easy prep. And then you can just take them, you prepare them in the steamer bag, then take them out, put them on a bake tray, cover them cinnamon, brown sugar, a little bit of butter.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh, sometimes I throw some paprika or like hot,
I like a good
bit of hot.
walnut finish on them if I
Okay.
have them in the house.
Yeah.
Typically I don't, but when I do, yeah, the little walnut finish on there. And if you're feeling really bougie
Mm-hmm.
and also not bougie at all at the same time, marshmallows.
Yeah, marshmallows. That's the powdered sugar of French toast. You don't need it, but it makes you higher than the surfs.
Yes,
I
it
guess.
does. That's right. What would you call it? A poor night?
Yeah, the poor night.
The poor night.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have our sweet potato casserole. We have our second side, and this comes from Hoboken Brewing out of beautiful New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Garden State.
Mm-hmm.
And this is their Brussels Sprout IPA. BRU-SSEL Sprout IPA. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why on God's green earth would they make a beer with Brussels sprouts?
Because it's cabbage. It's little baby cabbages.
No, because that's not what they did.
Well, why not?
Because what they did was they brewed the IPA with a hop called Brew 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's name only,
Yeah.
but it's the Brussels Sprout.
I get it.
But you also look a little disappointed.
Yeah, just make one with Brussels sprouts.
Good.
Yeah.
And a good baked Brussels. Don't ever steam or boil your Brussels sprouts.
That's gross.
For the love of all that is holy and decent. Bake them.
This is another very millennial thing, I feel like, is we grew up with so many cartoons that fucking bagged on Brussels sprouts as like the evil,
Right.
like the Rugrats hated it. Every child on a cartoon hated Brussels sprouts.
Right.
But then if you actually like get them,
And prepare them correctly.
prep them, like throw some oil on a baking sheet, throw a little black pepper on them. God damn, they're good.
They are good.
Yeah.
So-
So look, I'm not even saying don't steam them because again, back to the steamer bags.
Yeah.
I'm down with the steamer bag Brussels sprouts, but yeah, don't boil them.
No.
It's gross.
No, that is an abomination. So, funny side story about that. So, you're talking about our generation. Previous generation as well, our parents
Yeah.
kind of went through the same thing. They were the ones that got disgusted by it because they had all this stuff prepared for them,
Right.
boiled and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Have you seen the recipe books? They're nightmarish.
yeah. So, that had happened to my mother.
Uh-huh.
And so, she did not have Brussels sprouts for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I was home for Thanksgiving, and I reignited my love for Brussels sprouts, as a sentence I didn't think I'd ever say. But I made Brussels sprouts as part of Thanksgiving dinner, and Mom tried it. It's like, I had no idea these could actually be good.
Yeah.
And then so she started making Brussels sprouts just because they're good.
Yeah. Man, you bake them on the grill, or you bake them, or you throw them on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little char on the grill, and you fucking mix some bacon into there.
Mm-hmm. Can and have.
Throw a little butter on that bitch. Because they are just like little baby cabbages, so you gotta treat them as such.
Yeah, they're delicious.
The only reason why you boil cabbages is because you're making fucking stuffed cabbages.
Right.
And that winds up back in the oven anyway.
Yeah, so be smart with your Brussels sprouts.
That's right. Don't be a fool.
So we have our two sides. We have already gone through our salad, first course, but now we need our main course.
Uh-huh.
And this comes from Australia.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
this is a smoked porter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it is called their pepper steak porter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Favorite steak porter, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're having a salad. Then we're gonna have a steak with some Brussels sprouts and some sweet potato casserole.
So it's a smoked porter, right?
Mhm.
Did they actually even just take the time to put pepper in it, though?
I don't know.
Well, you're the one doing this. You're the one making this segment, so I have to ask the questions.
I do not know. However, I will ask the question after this phone call is up. I will take that as an action item, and I will put that in our follow-up and put that in our parking lot for the next meeting that we have.
Thank you. I'd like to be able to circle back on this.
Gross.
Because I'm just saying, if you're going so far, I understand making a smoked porter. Because you're going to get some meat flavor out of that.
Right.
But we've seen like black peppercorn a lot in other beers. It shows up a lot, and especially like Belgians.
Yeah.
So like, why not take that step and put some pepper in it?
I don't have a good answer for that.
Okay. Well, that's why I had to check.
So I will circle back. I will make that part of our news notes and eat for next week.
Are you going to make a collect call to Australia? Just leave the phone off the hook?
It was an emergency from America. I'm gonna get the big boot. So yes, we've had our salad, we have our steak, our sweet potato, and our Brussels sprouts. But we need some dessert.
Yeah.
And this is not going to be a letdown, but this is one we've already had before.
Right.
You don't even know what it is.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
We've had so many fucking dessert beers on this show.
I know, but I felt this one would be apropos for this dinner. It just felt right.
Yeah.
The Southern Tier creme brulee.
Yeah. I think, I mean, without getting into some of those crazy goof ass, not necessarily even beer anymore, smoogies, those are all dessert. Like, that's just, I don't know what you call that. That's melted ice cream with booze.
That's exactly what you call it.
Yeah, but I think the creme brulee still maintains some beer qualities.
Some semblance of normalcy.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also think it is one of the most desserty.
Yeah. So that is our walk through the day.
Yeah. Honestly, that flight is, that portion of the flight could be just anything.
It is. Yeah.
Because there's so many fucking dessert ass beers out there.
And I understood that going in, but I was like, I think a creme brulee would go really good with a steak dinner.
Yes, it would. It sounds very much like a steakhouse. You have your steak and your Brussels sprouts. Every steakhouse does Brussels sprouts. That's just the thing.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes, depends. But you
can get them.
Yeah, and most of them will do a nice Caesar.
Oh yeah, I do like a good Caesar salad.
See, that's the other thing you should have investigated. See if you can find a beer with anchovies in it, like a Caesar salad.
I did not go that far.
You gotta find that anchovy beer, Adam.
And I'm sure it exists.
Somebody made that mistake, but they didn't let it out of their city limits, as as previously discussed.
Exactly.
You can't let some of those things out to the world.
Just have to find the city. I feel like Minneapolis.
There was that one fucking place that was. It was. I don't know if it was Minneapolis for sure, but it was in that Midwest of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan.
Yeah, Lutefisk land.
Yeah, somebody in that fucking area did throw a whole fish.
Oh yeah,
You remember that? But it wasn't anchovies. It
No.
was just like some crazy invasive species.
yeah. Just is
Like a
we got to get
snakehead.
rid of it. Throw it in a boil.
Yeah, like a snakehead or something.
yeah.
Like, throw a fucking snakehead into our mash.
Gross.
Ugh,
No, thank you. Don't be like that.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Make a Caesar salad beer. Like, it's a wet beer, but like, you know,
Yeah, it's
creamy.
nice and light, and
It's creamy, but it's like oily somehow. I don't know.
it's fun. It's fun.
And somehow it's not gross. Figure that out. Figure out
Yes.
somehow it's not gross.
Please and thank you. So I will ask dear listener, if you have any ideas or any suggestions for our menu flight, for our breakfast, our lunch, or our dinner, let us know.
Build a meal with alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah. How would you build a meal with alcohol?
it's like Willy Wonka, but for adults.
Right. It's like alcoholism is what it is. But
It just is alcoholism.
it's like, how do I do meal replacement with beer?
You could do that. It's all calories in versus calories out.
Right. Yeah. Figure out what your meal replacement is, and how much of said beer can you drink, how many portions. Get on your WW app.
How many points?
How many points is like a third of a salad beer worth?
Oh, I wouldn't want to do that math.
Yeah.
So what do you think of these beers? Should we go to the podium?
Well, let's go back to the French toast bites just for a second, and
Okay.
then we'll go to the podium. So yeah, the yards, it didn't change much
No.
from what we started at, and that's different from the other beers that we've been drinking, because the other beers have actually been changing a little bit.
Right.
This one didn't become more. It just,
But at the same time, it did not become less. It just was.
Well, I wasn't gonna. I was gonna say it just dragging on. So it does become less because it's just kind of that same one note of like a honey, but it's also like drab.
It's not a bright, happy honey.
Yeah, like you can make way brighter honey ales.
I'm thinking of Sobel's.
Yeah,
has that honey wheat, honey wheat beer. I think it is.
Quote Hefeweizen, but it's not really
right.
Hefeweizen.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still that one is a fun drinking experience because it's super bright. It doesn't drag. And there's a lot of honey notes on it. Like this one just kind of drags on because it's like eating a box of Nilla wafers.
Yeah.
With a little bit of cinnamon.
And no banana pudding.
Yeah. So that one, to go back to the Bhramari, though, which I guess we can now move to the podium a little bit. The Bhramari, that one actually started taking on like coffee cake notes for me.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Like it became like a little bit more mellow on the front end, but I did also start getting more alcohol on the back end. But the cinnamon started really showing up in a way that like reminded me of coffee cake.
Ah, okay.
Like it was like brown sugar and cinnamon rather than just like the straightforward cinnamon we got when we first opened it.
Right.
So, yeah, that one evolved, and I think that one's a more interesting drinking experience because it evolves as you drink it.
Yes. Like you said, it's not just a one note.
Yeah.
Just burn.
Yeah.
You want to go first? You want me to go first? I have a hunch we're going to have similar results here.
Possible. Are you set?
I am set. I have made my decision.
Then go ahead, because I'm not set.
Okay. In the bronze medal position, I am going to put the Yards French Toast Bites for reasons that were already kind of explained. It is kind of a one-note song here. I don't hate it. I know I've said this many, many times before. None of these beers I hate. I wouldn't poo-poo any of them being handed to me. But of the three, I would put the Yards in the bronze medal position. It is, I would say, the least interesting of the three. I will give it points for probably being the most drinkable of the three. Of the three, this would probably be the most likely for me to crack open a second one. In the silver medal position, I am going to put the Touch-O Crunch, now with more crunch, 20% more crunch by Artisan Ales. I don't know how you make a red ale look like that, but they did. So good on you for that. It is a well-crafted beer, and I think one of the things that pulls it back for me personally is I am not a huge fan of a lot of cinnamon in the beer, and that's kind of its calling card. It did change a little bit as it warmed up as we were drinking it, but it was good, but not great. And the reason I'm going to put the Bhramari, the Fraanch toast, in the gold medal position is for one very simple reason. We had some beer sitting here right in front of me. I had the Yards, I had the Bhramari, and I also had the Artisan kind of sitting there right in front of me, and I had an empty glass, and I reached for the Bhramari to refill the glass. That's the one that I reached for to drink more of. Yes, we talked about not being able to drink a lot of it, and I don't recommend that you do. This is a shareable beer, 100%. But I find it to be the most interesting. It packs a lot of flavor into it. And Steve had just mentioned that as it warmed up, it kind of evolved a little bit as well. So there's more to it than just a one-note song. And with all that put together, I think I got to put it in the gold medal position.
Yeah. Okay.
Steve?
Yeah, that helped me out a little bit.
Okay.
Because I was just kind of wavering on the Touch-O Crunch and the Bhramari.
Okay.
But bronze is obviously the French Toast Bites from Yards. I don't think I am as nice to it as Adam was, just because it really just weared on me.
Okay.
Yeah, it just kind of wore me down of just like, oh, I'm tasting that same kind of one note, and it wasn't clean.
Mhm.
So I actually didn't find it as drinkable as you did.
Oh, okay.
Because it just wasn't as clean as other beers that I've had.
Mhm.
It tasted like kind of that mucky, sugary, kind of.
Mhm.
But like if you're going to be mucky and sugary like that, be flavorful as well.
Yes.
And I think that's what every beer we've had tonight has kind of that mucky sugariness to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, they all do.
Right. Which we are making a French toast beer.
Right, yeah. That's fine. That's expected. But yeah, that's the thing is the French toast bites wasn't big enough on other flavors.
Mhm.
If it was cleaner, maybe I would have liked it.
Mhm.
Like we were saying, if it was cleaner like that Sobel's,
Yeah.
sure, cool. If it was more flavorful, okay, that's better too.
Mhm.
Just one way or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why it's bronze for me, and I probably won't ever pick that up again.
Okay.
Silver, I will give to the Toucho Crunch, simply because it hits a lot of the exact same notes as the French toast bites, but it's bigger and more flavorful.
It's a better version of.
It's a better version of, yeah.
Mhm.
You get more of the cinnamon, and you get more of just the overall malt profile. It's just not like an amorphous golden ale. Like it seems like they really tried to make a big red ale,
Mhm.
and then threw in a bunch of other goof into it.
Mhm.
But the goof achieves what they wanted. So yeah, it's it's not like the greatest beer ever made,
Right.
but I think it's a fun beer to drink. It's a fun beer to check out. I think everybody should, if you get a chance, if you bump into it, give it a try, because it is good. And being at 7.5, 7.4, it's pretty damn drinkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun beer. It's a fun dessert beer, and like we were saying, like throw that together with some Mexican ice cream,
Yeah.
fried ice cream, or some churros, or something like that.
Be doing all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
Just some cinnamon ice cream.
Yeah. And shout out to Kelsey for hooking us up with that beer.
Yeah, it's all good. If you don't want to prepare a dish though, and you just want to like not have to make dessert and just have it all in one place, then you can have the Bhramari, because it just satisfies everything at once. You will not feel the need to eat a side dish of ice cream with this.
It is the dish.
Yeah, it would be really hard for me to go against my common roots of not putting fucking gasoline stout in gold. But yeah, like you were saying, and like we talked about, like just the evolution as it warms up. Like there are some beers in some stouts, like when they warm up, they don't get better or more interesting. They become a slog.
Mm-hmm.
This one gets different, and it gets different in a way that keeps you, drinking it.
Mhm.
Like I said, it goes from kind of that cinnamon up front, and it's like a cinnamon cream. It's not. I don't think any of these beers really capture French toast per se, but
No.
it's like a hard thing to do.
Right.
How do you capture eggy?
Eggy bread.
Yeah. Who can make eggy as a beer flavor? But,
Would you really want to?
yeah, would you want to? But yeah, there is good cinnamon on this Bhramari, and as it evolves, for me it really took on that coffee cake.
Mhm.
So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and I would drink that one again. I would drink the Toasted Crunch again. It's just one of them gets you fucked up, and the other one don't.
A lot quicker.
Yeah. The other one is, gas to the floor, pedal to the metal, get you going. So, I don't know. That's how you win, I guess.
Yeah. Just overpower the competition.
Yeah. Just Ivan Drago it and punch everybody else out.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. But yeah, check out those beers.
Mm-hmm.
Check out some French toast beers. Check out some French toast.
Yes.
Check out a Monte Cristo.
Not a Monte Carlo.
Yeah. Well, invent a Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
Before Adam does.
And if you do it before I do, I want 10%.
What would you make as a Monte Carlo, Adam?
So, and here's the thing, is I'm sure everybody thinks that I assume that I'm talking French Riviera Monte Carlo.
Right, no.
I'm talking 1980 Chevy Monte Carlo, because I still got a little redneck in me. I don't know. Rust,
Rust nipple. No.
No, but no, it would not be turkey. I think I would have to go with
Chicken tendies?
no, but maybe.
But maybe. Come
Now
on.
that you say it.
Yeah. Once you hear it out loud, you got to go, well.
See, I was thinking fried bologna.
Okay. I'm not saying no.
I mean, it's Monte Carlo. Come on.
Yeah. Fried bologna, maybe. I don't know why it just went to my head, but I was just like chicken tendies and fucking mozzarella sticks.
I mean,
Yeah, right?
I mean, it doesn't sound bad.
It doesn't sound terrible.
No, it doesn't.
It sounds like something you get at like, Are You Hungry?
Yeah. Oh, you would have to be stoned out of your gourd.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee there's a lot of weed smokers with Monte Carlos.
Yep. Writing it down like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That all sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, Monte Carlos.
Yeah. You are welcome, world.
I was trying to think. I remember seeing a good SS somewhere, but I don't know.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just out of my head. Oh no, I saw an SS with the with the Trans Am bandit paint.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you got sort of mixed up, but it's also still cool.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Did it have the screaming chicken on the hood?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the thing. It was the full bandit paint.
Yes.
But it was a Monte Carlo SS. I'm like, well, hey, that's cool, but you
know what? You get half credit. It's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's your own thing, dude.
Yes.
Yeah. But all right. Well, if you want to join us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA, and that'll get you Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes of the Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA in your favorite podcatcher like Stitcher, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora. We're on everything. Just search us. But if you're on any of those platforms, leave a 5-star review because
we are a 6 slices of eggy bread show, but they only let us use 5.
and it's a bigger crime than the French language. Holy bananas. Get it together, France.
Come on. You've been a country for a while now.
Yeah. And Belgium and Guyana.
Yes.
Get it all together.
Yes.
And Quebec.
Well, yeah, Quebec.
Well, they should, I mean, they're the most French speaking, so.
Good fishing up in Quebec.
But, yes, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with who knows. We're flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know.
If you got suggestions, let us know.
Yeah.
We might listen.
Let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah, unless it's silence.
Right. That's rude. Don't be rude.
Yeah, come on, man.
Don't be rude. That's my job.
We all got struggles.
Yeah.
We don't need you piling on.
But yeah, we have some breweries in the future.
We got plans in the works.
Got plans in the works. So keep on listening, and we'll be back in breweries, and we'll be back to talking to people, and we'll be back to figuring out what the fuck is happening in 2022.
It'll be lit AF.
Sure.
As the kids say.
As the kids say.
All right. We'll be back next week.
Bye. I'm still fighting with the garbage people.